In this video, we're going to take a look at the 40-man roster of the Miami Marlins before the 2026 MLB season and see if they can get into the playoffs. Let's get started. So, presently speaking, Marlins, as of December 29th, do have a 40-man roster as of this moment. I do project them to have several people to be on the DL, 60-day DL to begin the year. Ronnie Enriquez recently injured, out for the whole season, which is a big hit to their back-end bullpen for this upcoming year. Max Meyer, has had hip surgery in July, borderline ready for opening day. We'll see if he happens to be ready. Braxton Garrett, quite injury prone of late. Still recovering from Tommy John surgery. If healthy, will make the team. Same with Max Meyer. Sees how that goes. Now, outside of that, I do have the Marlins having 20 locks, actually, on their team prior to pre-spring trading here shortly, without any trades. Now, topic on hand, Edward Cabrera, likely, and I see him to be traded here in the near future, but would be a lock if he happened to not be traded. Eury Perez, in contract talk extensions here, so I see him being locked up here pretty shortly for the foreseeable future. We'll go to Sandy Alcantara, really the ace of the team. Had a rough year in 2025, should bounce back. Could trade him mid-season depending on how the season happens to go. I do see Janson Junk making the roster and starting for the Marlins. Probably sneaks in as the number 5 or 4, depending on any trades coming in. And I do see Ryan Weathers back as a starter again as well. Fairly recently, Marlins did sign Pete Fairbanks to be their closer. Should be a big asset to them here this upcoming year. As another lock, Anthony Bender, been consistent over the last several years. Fill-in closer as needed, but much better, more middle relief pitcher here. Calvin Faucher had some closing needs the last couple of years without a true lockdown guy. But solid pitcher, will remain on the 40-man and on the active roster, in my opinion. Tyler Phillips had a good year this past year. I do expect him to be back in the bullpen for the Marlins. Cade Gibson as a lefty. I do think he should make the roster this upcoming year as well. Not the hardest thrower of the ball, but has some finesse. Will be needed as a lefty in the bullpen. Lake Bachar, also more of a middle relief, but I see him. He had a good, solid year, all considered last year. Kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, I know he was decent in the Padres organization years prior, but I do see him also making the roster. Catchers, I actually do see Liam Hicks was a Rule 5 pick last year, and I expect him to make the roster one more time here again. Agustin Ramirez, really a poor defender, but one of the better bats as a catcher here in the major leagues. Can play first base as well. As many games as they can get him away from catching would be beneficial for them. Could see him as a DH role, depending, but what they do with their catchers will be speaking on that here shortly. Fairly recent signing in Christopher Morel, expected to be their first baseman. Has some pop, strikes out fair, way too much. Not a good defender, but if he can get any consistency, he'll be an everyday first baseman, but I don't expect it. They did just designate Eric Wegman today, so he will not be expected to make the roster at this point, but I could see him go overseas personally, so we'll see. Okay, and then second base, I expect probably Xavier Edwards more than likely to be the second baseman here as well. He's a good player. It's for average, not much pop, good speed. Rotates between shortstop as well. So they'll probably alternate between himself and Otto Lopez this upcoming year. Very good defender. Solid speed. Will, be an asset to this team here. Third base, I actually do believe Connor Norby will be their third baseman. One of the top prospects in baseball a couple of years ago. Still a decent prospect, not necessarily, top 100 worthy, if he were still to be eligible at this point. But I do expect him to make the roster. Kyle Stowers, really their best hitter overall. Destroyed right-handed pitching this past year. Surprisingly didn't have much pop against lefties at all. But he should have another pretty good year here, 25, 30 home runs, and as long as he can stay healthy. I do expect the Marlins to start Jakob Marsee as the center fielder. Had a very good year this past year. Minimal at-bats, good speed, average defender, but as long as he hits the ball like he did this past year, he's should be in the majors for quite some time. So hopefully he can continue that. And last guarantee, 20th guarantee, barring injuries and trades, Griffin Conine. They did recently get rid of Myers, sent to the Reds as well. So a position open up here for Conine to be fairly regular starting here. And then the last six that I do have making the roster for the Marlins, Heriberto Hernandez, corner outfielder. It's got some pop, decent hitter. Not much speed, but I expect him to make the roster. Traded to the Marlins today, Esteury Ruiz. Lots of speed, lots of speed. One of the fastest guys in baseball. Really poor outfielder in terms of fielding, all considered his top speed, but I could definitely see them playing a little small ball on occasion. And definitely trying to steal some bases and get him a pinch run throughout the year. Javier Sanoja, bit of a utility guy, should be able to help this Marlins roster and contribute to them. Expecting to fill in basically anywheres and anywheres whenever there's injuries. For the most part, pretty good defender as well. And then my last, I do at this moment believe Graham Pauley would sneak onto the roster. Just depends on what the Marlins are thinking in terms of strategizing for the team, but capable of playing several different positions here. As long as Andrew Nardi happens to be healthy, he will also make the roster as a lefty. Has some back issues, did miss the whole 2025 Major League season. but I expect him to probably be healthy and should make the roster. And last but not least, I do expect Ryan Gusto to make the team as the 26th man on the roster. Starter could be swing guy, long reliever, just depending on as needed. It just depends what they're doing, and if they do trade Edward Cabrera, he's more of a lock, even more so of a lock. Outside of that, outside of the 26, I do Adam Mazur. Don't expect him to make the roster initially. We'll get some starts throughout the year. Max Acosta, middle infielder, should get into some games here throughout the year. Not sure if we'll make the opening 26. Joe Mack, prospect, basically their top hitting prospect as a catcher. All depends what they want to do. With Agustin Ramirez, if they want to slide him more DH, and make Joe Mack more of backup / starting. Although it would be the starting catcher at that point. I think he would overtake Liam Hicks if he did make the roster. But I could see them easing him into it initially, and by midseason, I believe he'd be on the active roster there. Dax Fulton did struggle in AAA a little bit, more of a AA guy last year. Was a top prospect a couple of years ago, good prospect, but not sure if he'll make the team. Right off the bat, Jared Serna, decent defender, all considered utility player, so good asset to the roster, but not a opening 26-man player. Victor Mesa Jr. been on the team, feels like forever, and in the minors, I should say. And I'm not sure if he was a top prospect years and years ago. I don't see it working out for him. I think he could be DFA'd at some point. Deyvison De Los Santos, first base, third base, got some pop. I don't necessarily, be a backup plan depending on Morel at first base. Could fill in occasionally at third. We'll make the team at some point, but not sure if right off the bat. So we'll be in a age 22 season. Josh White, also on the 40-man roster. Don't expect him to make the opening day roster, but definitely could. He's got some potential, strikes out a fair amount of guys as well. Michael Peterson, up and down on their roster and between the Braves as well. Has some service time. Just, I could see him being DFA'd before opening day as well. Josh Simpson, another lefty, gives him a shot to make the opening day roster depending on Andrew Nardi and health. Solid, decent player. Should get in the majors again at some point for the Marlins this year. William Kepner, did add him to the 40-man team. I don't think he'll make the 40 or the 26-man, but has potential. There's fairly hard, all considered, and but I'll see him starting out as a AAA reliever and probably work his way up. And once again, Enriquez, Mayer, Garrett, expected to, still recovering from injuries at this point. Now, all considered, will the Marlins make the playoffs with the roster presently constructed? I don't believe they do. They played fairly well this past year in 2025, but I don't necessarily. I think they exceeded expectations at the same time. Despite everything that occurred. But I just don't think they have enough talent just yet. Young guys aren't quite there. At the same time, I do expect them to probably be in the 70 to 76 win range. But they always play the division quite well. At the same time, if they do make it into the playoffs, will be because of their pitching. At the same time, Fairbanks will be a good addition to them. But the starters will have to carry them. And need their ace back in Alcantara. So, hope you all have enjoyed the video. Appreciate your time. Please leave a like, leave a comment. Give me your thoughts on if the Marlins will make the playoffs in 2026. Thanks for your time, everybody. Bye-bye.